Hi, welcome to For Such a Time as This. My name is Colleen. Happy Wednesday. It is December 10th. I cannot believe that we are almost at the halfway point of December and Christmas is right around the corner. Today is National Dewey Decimal Day. And if you're not familiar with the Dewey Decimal System, it is the way that libraries catalog their books and place them on shelves so that they could be found at a later time. So when I was a child, you would go to the library, and we didn't have computers that you could type in a topic or a genre and a list of books would come up. You would go talk to the librarian, and then you would go over to this shelving unit that had all these little drawers in it. It was called the card catalog system. And each drawer held cards about the size of an index card. And you'd pull out this long drawer and you'd start flipping through these cards that are in alphabetical order until you found the book you were looking for. Now, the card would have the book and the genre and the title and the Dewey Decimal number on it, which did have a decimal in it. You'd write down, the number, and then you'd go over to the bookshelves. And on the side of the bookshelves, there would be a range of Dewey Decimals of books that are going to be on this shelf. And then you would go down the shelves and you would look for your number. They were in numerical order, which was very helpful. But that's how we found our books to check them out. I enjoyed doing that as a kid. Well, today I wanted to remind you that you are loved, you are cared for, you are valued, and you have a purpose. In the world around us, it's easy to become discouraged, afraid, feel alone. But I want to remind you that you are loved, cared for, valued, and have a purpose. Now, tuck that away. I'll come back to that in a moment. I wanted to talk about our bodies and how amazing they are. We have joints that rotate and go in all different directions. We can touch and feel and walk and move. But I wanted to focus on our eyes and our ears. They're amazing. They take in the information around us, send it to our brain, and then our brain processes it. And it gathers information and it processes and gathers and processes. And through this, we learn we know how to feel, how to think, what to say, how to act, the steps that we should take, the path that we should go. It helps us to understand the world around us. So when things don't work quite as well, like my eyes, I use glasses. If you and I were to go out for a cup of coffee and I took my glasses off, you would look like a fuzzy blob. Now, I mean no offense by that, but that's what you would look like. I might be able to make out shadows where your eyes are, or the outline of your body, but I'm not going to be able to see things clearly. Now, when my glasses are on, I put these lenses on, I'll be able to tell the color of your eyes, if you're wearing jewelry, if you're smiling, if you're crying, or the style of your hair. These lenses allow me to see clearly. The way we look at the world, the lenses that we're looking through, impact how we see the world around us. Now, if you don't wear glasses, think of it this way. Have you ever been in a car and you're driving down the road and a really heavy rainstorm comes? You can probably see the car in front of you, but it's not clear. Things are distorted. Or if you're in a car where there's fog, you might be able to make out images in cars or houses around you, but things aren't crisp and clear. Things can be distorted, or you might not see things at all. If we're not careful with the lenses in choosing the right lenses to look at the world around us, things can become distorted. We can get discouraged. We can become afraid, confused. For example, if I spent 24 hours a day watching the news, I might get to a place where I don't even want to leave my house because the world around me seems terrifying. Now, there are times where the news shares happy stories, But a lot of the time, news, whether it's local, national, or international, the news that's shared tends to be a little discouraging. It's the unhappy things because that's what the headlines are. And if that's all I'm feeding myself, well, I might think that the world's just a terrible, scary place to be and never want to go outside. If the only thing that I watch, excuse me, are fairy tales, I might think that out in the real world, the whole world is just one big happy place where people love animals and everybody has their happily ever after and nothing ever goes wrong. And then when I do go outside and realize that's not the case, I could become quickly discouraged and even afraid and run back inside and not want to come back out again. If I'm looking at social media or advertisements or billboards or television shows, and I'm taking in the information and the images that I see, I may feel like I don't live up to what I'm watching. Maybe I don't look the same way, I don't act the same way, I don't speak the same way, I don't have the same talents that someone else has, and that can get discouraging. It's important that when we're looking at the world around us, that we're looking at it through God's eyes. When we're looking at ourselves, we need to make sure that we're looking at ourselves through God's eyes. How do you do that? You spend time in His Word. You read it every day. See, this is a love letter. It's a love letter from God to you, telling you how much He loves you, how much He cares for you, how much you're valued, and that you have a purpose. I want to encourage you this week. Now, I'm not saying don't visit social media, don't watch television and movies. If you like a good fairy tale, watch a good fairy tale. If you want to watch the news, watch the news. But make sure that what you're taking in through your eyes and ears is also in balance with what God is telling you. This week, I would encourage you, just spend time with Him. Read His Word. Just take in the information. Allow your brain and your heart to process that you are loved, cared for, valued, and have a purpose. Allow Him to encourage you, to fill you with peace, and remind you how much you mean to Him. If you have questions about God and how much He does love you, please reach out to us. We would love to share more information. We can be reached at For Such a Time, the numbers 414@outlook.com. And as always, it says in the book of Numbers, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn His face toward you and give you peace. Shalom, my friend.